We often don't know we're in a peak until after it's already passed. This is not the case. This is definitely the best draft I will ever have. I also want to give a special shout out to Hart in Titans Cards and Games in Pinellas Park, Florida. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you watching my videos. Alright, welcome back to another Cube video. My name is Edward, also known as Strategy. Let's see here. The first card that kind of jumps out at me is the Paragoyf. And it's the last card that jumps out at me. I don't mind Flage, but I don't like to be aggressive strategies if I can help it. I also really like Harvester of Misery, especially in this cube. However, I don't think I want to kind of go that route. I could be wrong, but even if I end up like some type of Reanimator shell, Paragoyf is still a very good card in that archetype as well. And who knows, maybe the Blood Tithe Harvester wheels if that's the case. But yeah, I'm going to take the Paragoyf for now. I definitely think it's by far the best card in this pack. It's everything that Glorybringer wants to be, I'll say that. Alright. It's even easier to cast both in CMC and in splashability. Alright, well. Captain Sir Doctor here, holding us up. Hopefully they're in the draft, and they didn't do, like, potentially what happened to me, where we got into a game and then it glitched out and then it skipped our first turn. Alright, we have a pack. Mox Emerald. Okay, I think that they may not be in this draft. Of course, they could have opened something better. Maybe... maybe there's a lot of things. The fact that they still have this many packs to go, though, tells me that they are probably not, in the draft, which I'm okay with because we got our companion Mox Emerald, so I can't complain. Tinker, unfortunately, is not going to wheel, especially, I'm sorry. Getting out of myself. I don't think Tinker's going to wheel, and the fact that Citadel is also in this pack means we're not getting both of them, is what I meant to say. Bowmaster's is not going to wheel. Ragavan's not going to wheel. Maybe Celestial Colonnade, but I doubt we're going to want to play that by the time we get it back. Yeah, sadly, I think that they are not in this draft. But, I mean, they're passing to us twice, and everyone at the table has to suffer. If that's truly what's happening, everyone at the table has to suffer for it, and they're passing it to us twice, so we have a little bit higher chance to open power, maybe. Maybe we can take advantage of it. I'm not saying that you necessarily, want to wish for those things, but I'm not going to complain if we have to sit here anyways through it. Okay. That's a pick 3 Soul Ring. I know that this person's apparently not playing, but what did the first person take? What is the... I'm so glad I'm recording. Okay, yeah, I just double checked because I got past pick 3 Time Walk twice, and I don't think either of those videos were recorded, unfortunately, due to technical difficulty. Oh, man. So I was going to be kind of excited to take this Chrome Mox, but yeah, we're going to take Soul Ring. Aw, man, we ran out of power. Darn. Whatever will we do? This pack is kind of bad. I could take Jace. I kind of want to take Oko. I don't think it's too late to take Oko by any stretch. Here's a Mox Emerald. It's not here's a Mox Emerald, my apologies. I have a Mox Emerald already. So it could be Rug, maybe. I definitely think Oko is the most strong card in the pack. And at this point, I'm just going to call it that this person's not playing, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Oko. I could see taking the Time Warp, maybe even the Jace, but Oko I think is definitely just the best card. Time Warp uses the Soul Ring the best. Oh, now we have a fetch land. A red-green touching fetch land at that. I don't think I want Hedge Maze over Wooded Foothills here. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Wooded Foothills. That was a lot of unfortunate Simic land, not Simic. Yes, there was a Simic land, but I meant to say Teamer lands in that pack specifically. Okay, we have a choice here. We have 2 fetches. I think I'd rather go for the Prismatic Vista if I take a fetch. But I also have Sylvan Safekeeper here, and we all know that Titania is like my favorite card ever. We're not guaranteed to see it. And I'm not going to be as crude as to take Sylvan Safekeeper over 3-color fetch land. But I really want to. Oh, man. And then notably as well, there's Generous Int and Llanowar Elves, which may come back. I have a feeling that the Candelabra might come back if no one wants to do what we did in the previous draft and just kind of take it on spec. But yeah, let's take the Prismatic Vista there. I don't want the Elder Gargaroth. I think I'm just going to take the Simic land here. I think this is a great time to take it. There's not much else in here that I necessarily want. If this wasn't Rakdos colored, I'd probably be interested in the Fire Covenant, but I like taking lands, and a Simic land here definitely seems appropriate. Okay, there's a Miscalc. I don't hate Miscalc. There's also a Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf, I think, is kind of crazy to take here, even though we have Pyrogoyf, which can kind of combo with it. I'm just going to take the Miscalculation. If one of these 2 lands was a Teamer touching land, I might take it over, but I like having a Miscalc. I think Miscalc is often better than like having a counterspell and sometimes a mana drain, just because it's easier to splash. And then also just, you know, being able to cycle it away is not nothing either. Okay, so the Harvester of Misery did come back. I think it's safe to say that we're not going to be in a Reanimator shell, and I don't want to play black at this point. So I think the only playable card that we're going to really be doing, unless like Tinker comes back, is Pintad Prism, which I do really enjoy. So I'm going to take it regardless. And even if I was guaranteed the Tinker wheel, Triplicate Titan, I don't think I want to be tinkering into that. So, I mean, with Sol Ring, the Sowing Mica spawn actually becomes a thing. I don't think I want to Leovold. I could see taking Legion Extruder. That might be better. I think the Legion Extruder is actually just factually better than the Sowing Mica spawn. As much as I hate to admit that. Yeah, I do like Celestial Colonnade, but I don't want to play 4 colors if I can help it. I mean, that's a counter spell, I suppose. I like that better than Field of the Dead. If I took the Myco spawn, I might take the Field of the Dead, just because it helps cast it as well on both ends. Okay, yeah, we'll take a Jace. Yep, not even passing up anything great for it. Oh, and there's another Simic land that's fetchable, and that makes all 3 colors off the Wooded Foothills. Yeah, we'll take it. I know we have 2 Simic lands, so you might be... Oh, yes. I'll take the Generous Ent, I think, over the Ronos. There's just so many mana dorks in the cube, I'm going to value the Generous Ent. Anyways, to finish my thought, I know that, oh, look, I already have a Simic land, so why would I take the Hedge Maze? Hey, look, there's our Academy. Oh, and there's an Oracle, the Alpha. Anyways, however, this is fetchable. The Izzet land wasn't. If the Izzet land was fetchable, I would have taken it. For both the Wooded Foothills' sake and the fact that we already have this Simic Verge. But it wasn't, so I took the fetchable. And also we got rewarded by taking the fetchable because we got Generous Ent the following pick. Okay, I want to talk about Oracle the Alpha. Oracle the Alpha is in my cube, my personal Arena Cube. I also printed off a bunch of proxy power for the Oracle the Alpha trigger in my paper cube, funnily enough. Now, I don't think it's going to be fantastic, but it is certainly a fun card. So I'm going to take it, similar to Booster Tutor. I think the correct pick is honestly Verdant Catacombs. But, you know, we're not always here for correct picks. We're often here for fun picks, and this is Vintage Cube or Powered Cube. We should be taking the fun cards anyways. So let's take the Oracle of the Alpha. Okay, so now we technically have a Time Walk in our deck, and a Recall, and a Lotus, and everything else. So that's going to be great. Because we have a Time Walk in our deck now, Snapcaster Mage gets a lot better. I don't want to play black for the Vampiric Tutor. I don't mind a Fable Passage either. Notably, so what makes Oracle the Alpha not the greatest is that you're going to put a bunch of Moxen and a Lotus in your deck that may not be good moving forward. With that said, Snapcaster Mage with both Recall and Time Walk I think is good enough that I'm just going to take it. Excuse me. Okay, there's a Demonic Tutor. Gosh, I wish we were black. It's not too late to start splashing black. But maybe we'd be better suited with a card like Uro. Yeah, I think we're better suited with a card like Uro, unfortunately. As much as I don't want to admit that. Notably, there's also Palantir of Orthonk. But Palantir of Orthonk, when you put a bunch of zeros in your deck, doesn't seem that great either. So yeah, let's take the Uro. Maybe the Fabled land will come back. Okay, there's a Lotus Petal. I like Lotus Petal. It helps us fix as well. Also, we could just be Simic if we don't play the Tarmogoyf or the Paragoyf from the Legion Extruder. But Lotus Petal also, so to finish my thought, also lets us put a card in the yard for Uro. And I don't really see anything. I guess there's a Seeka's Chariot. I'm going to take the Lotus Petal. This also like keeps us open for a potential breach. Pyrokinesis. We do not have the red cards to play Pyrokinesis at this point. There's a red Verge I don't hate. Keep in mind, we are a Soul Ring deck. We want to be taking cards that are good with Soul Ring, and I'm just not seeing them when it's appropriate to. Like, I'm taking the Snapcaster there almost every time. I guess Soul Ring does help with that because it can help cast the 2 colorless off of Snap and Time Walk, but you know what I mean. This is not a looking at a great Soul Ring deck at the moment. I'm going to take this Verge. I do want to play red at this moment, and this is just a way to help incentivize that we get to continue playing red. Scry 2, draw a card for 2 turns. This is actually not a bad card to Soul Ring into. Interesting. I could also just take another land. I think I'd rather just take the land. I think this has a high chance of wheeling, and if it doesn't, it's not impactful enough, in my opinion, for me to like really miss it. Minkskin Boo. I'm so glad I took a couple more red fixings. That the payoff is just absolutely fantastic. Yes, I see the LED. We don't have a way to abuse it, so I'm not going to take it here. Minkskin Boo, please get into my deck. Titania. No, we didn't take the Sylvan. Oh, we didn't take the Safekeeper. Oh, am I supposed to just take Time Spiral then? I don't want to take Time Spiral, but I think I'm going to. Oh, that's brutal. We have 2 fetches for the Titania. Yeah, I want draw 7s in my Oracle of the Alpha deck. I think it's correct to take them. Oh, Verdant Catacombs wheeled. Well, that's nice, because that probably is what I would take if I didn't have the Oracle of the Alpha. Yeah, that's great. Oh, and the Fable came back? Fabled Passage? Yeah, that's another. Yeah, we'll take Fabled Passage. Our fixing's going to be great. Yes, the Bobble's nice, but I really, really, really value fixing. I cannot say that enough. Nissa is a card that we can get off Soul Ring, and it just fixes us. Sure, I'll take it for now. I'm not guaranteed to play it, but we'll see. You know, the last time we had a Soul Ring Minkskin Boo deck, we did really well. So let's hope that we get Soul Ring Minkskin Boo. Yep. Unfortunately, these are going the other way. I'm not going to make any promises because I don't have a lot of time to edit these videos down like I did in the beginning. But I will make an honest attempt to try to remember to cut these long sections out. Well, I guess it's going to be awkward now because I'm talking over a pick. But like Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. I guess we could open up a flash, so I'll take the Woodfall Primus. Also, just playing Woodfall Primus is not the worst in this deck. I guess I'll take the Galvanic Charge, or Discharge, I mean. Oh, 6? 6 with Black Lotus, if we can make that work. I don't think we're going to be playing a ton of lands, but yeah, I'll take a 6 here. Not interested in that. Okay, well, we did not open power, but who knows? Maybe this player to our right will pass us power again. Do I just take another fetch land? I hate that Titania is gone. I really do. I mean, this is our uncolored Triome. Maybe we're supposed to value that more than a red fetch when red is by far our least color. It doesn't get untapped blue, so it makes this counterspell worse. So yeah, I'm going to take the Ketria Triome here, I think. Flame Slash is notable. I really like Flame Slash, but I'd rather be able to cast our spells and do more proactive things. So let's take the Ketria Triome. That was a disappointing first pack, but I can't really complain. It happened again. Okay, awesome. Oh, are they in the... I don't know why they're out of packs already, but maybe after a while it makes them pass faster. But either way, it happened again, and it's even on color. So yeah, no complaining. Remember that last time we didn't have any power? Yeah, this is great. Oh, there's an Echo. We don't have LED. Hey, look, our coveted Jewel. I almost called it Jeweled Lotus again. That's incredible. All right. We have a Narset. I like Narset. There's a Remand, which I do like and respect a lot here, but I'm going to take the Narset. We have a Time Spiral already. Oracle puts a Time Twister into our deck. So yeah, that's about it. Cards that we want to see at this point. Just more cards that go with Soul Ring, really. Okay. I don't think we're an Ancient Tomb deck. I do see this Tropical Island, don't worry. I mean, I do like Mightstone, Weakstone with Soul Ring, but we're not guaranteed to get the Soul Ring. I think I just want to take the Simic untap land here. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. I think Mightstone, Weakstone's like the next card I would take, though, if the actual factual Tropical Island wasn't in the pack. Just being able to Uro and exile a bunch of stuff and guaranteed get that back with as many green and blue sources as possible would be nice. Plus, being able to exile stuff out of our Uro deck means our Time Twisters are better. Pick 5 Recall. What is this draft? What? Okay, yes, I am still recording. What does this even mean? I cannot wait. I'm going to have to, like, I don't even know what I'm going to make for the thing for this. Like, look at this. Ruby, Emerald, Soul Ring, Recall. Where'd the Recall go? There it is. What is this? What is this pile? Okay, well, now that I'm done geeking out, do I want to end stone? I don't have a way to really, like, I have to, like, kill the Oracle, then put it back into our deck. I don't think I want to be end stoning. I don't know if I want to Aether either, but here we are. I'm just going to take it. Okay, we have another green red land. Is that what we want? There's Fraternity I'm not really interested in. Although, actually, you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I just lied to myself because this is a way to fill the yard, and it's a nice way to use the Soul Ring mana. We have a lot of fixing, and red is by far our least likely color to play. So yeah, let's take the thing that fills out the Uro and finds us more power. Pick 8 Psychic Frog, and we're not going to take it. Yeah, I'll take the days. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. I don't think we're an Isotil deck. We don't have a way to abuse. Maybe we're just a Fairy Mastermind deck, and the Soul Ring can help us activate the ability. It's also just another blue card. Volcanic Island Wield? Yes, please. I do like the Expressive Iteration a lot, but this is a Volcanic Island we're talking about. It's untapped blue for Wooded Foothills, which I guess the other card already did, but that's fine. Coveted Jewel or Third Path, or you know what? Are we supposed to just take this? I don't know. I'm going to take that over the Third Path. I think this is a decent Third Path deck, honestly. Frantic Search, or is it land? Probably. We're going to have cards to cut. I'm not going to do the math. I don't have the time to do the math. I assume we're going to have plenty of cards to cut. I'm going to cut the Fiery Islet, or take the Fiery Islet, I mean. Just simply for the fact that I want to, but also it can also put cards in the yard by itself to the Uro. Caustic Bronco. All right, let's see this in the deck tech. The NYSE is returning for its 10th installment. This event will be held June 6th at the Knights of Columbus in Patchogue, New York. Top 8 prizes include all 5 Moxen, Time Walk, Ancestral Recall, and even a Black Lotus. Proxies are allowed for this event. Please use the link in the description for more information on proxies and other questions you may have. Now let's get back to the video. All right, this is what I'm starting with. I wasn't sure how quite to build this one. I wish I had at least one more draw 7. I had a chance to take an Echo of the Eons, but this is slightly contradicting, but I don't want like 6 mana draw 7s. This one untaps itself, so although it's 6 mana, it's kind of free. I don't think it's going to be free a whole lot because I'll probably have Moxen and Soul Rings, but at least I'll get some of the mana back immediately. Usually at least. And so yeah, I didn't think it was correct taking the Echo, but seeing a Wheel of Fortune or a Time Twister I think would have made this deck a lot better, being able to dump out this incredible pile of jewelry into those effects. But luckily the Oracle of the Alpha will give us a Time Twister, so if we're able to Oracle the Alpha, find a Time Spiral, and kind of go off from there, we should be in good hands. I am gonna play Boomy. I don't know how this is pronounced. I'm sorry. I've seen Avatar. I would not consider myself to be an Avatar like fan, so to speak. Although I did enjoy the series the one time I watched it in its entirety. So forgive me for not saying this correct if it's not pronounced Boomy. But I played this card before. I don't remember if it was. I guess it had to have been a powered draft because I don't think this is in my cube. But it was fun. I do think that just this being a 5 mana beater, taking advantage of the Soul Ring, I think will help out a lot. But hopefully I can just turn to this Minx-Gamboo early and often. Some of the cards I'm not playing, I'm not going to bother playing the Nissa, and the Woodfall Primus also seems kind of meh. I have a ton. I think this is, if you count the generous end, I think this is 20 sources when I was making the deck. So it's a lot of sources. Not as many lands. I think it's 15 lands. So like the 6 may not come out and be as strong as it would normally. I decided not to play Thornspire Verge so I can play one more basic. One of the things I don't like about counterspells and mana drains is that they're double blue, and it kind of makes me have to play these. I feel like if I didn't have this counterspell in my deck, I would be playing the Verge, but the other thing is I have 2 basic land fetches, and I really want to make sure that if I draw a couple basics in my opener and I draw these later, they can still find something, because nothing is worse than not being able to fetch when you really need to. So that's what I ended up going with. I have three fetchables off Generous Ent, and I do need to be a little bit careful because Verdant Catacombs has less hits than the Wooded Foothills. Luckily, thanks to Volcanic Island, the Wooded Foothills can get that where the Verdant Catacomb cannot. So just something to watch out for. But yeah, I am excited. I do think that with like things like Fairy Mastermind being able to draw extra cards, the Thirst for Identity being able to draw extra cards, Time Spiral, maybe Narset into the Time Twister off of the Oracle, maybe. If I can draw into Time Spiral effects, I think this deck is going to be absolutely broken. Or if obviously I can like turn to a Minx-Gamboo. If I'm not able to do that, we'll see. And then my friends and family will disown me. So yeah, I'll see you in round 1 here. Fingers crossed. I am proud to announce the 2026 Oklahoma Land Run Weekend, July 10th through the 12th.
This event will be held at the Reed Convention Center in Midwest City, Oklahoma. Join me and my vintage family for a weekend of Magic the Gathering events featuring huge prizes and competitive play across multiple formats. Main events include a Vintage, a Legacy, and a Team Trios event, including Vintage, Legacy, and Modern. Don't have power? No worries. You can proxy any card currently on the reserve list. Side events so far include a High Roller Vintage Cube for Power Thursday evening, at least one old school charity event, a pre-modern challenge also Thursday evening hosted by GameHQ, Duel Commander, and even more to follow. Featured artists include Sawatari. For more information, please use the links in the description to join the Oklahoma Land Run Discord. I'll see you there. Now let's get back to the video.
Welcome to round 1. We got our Oracle the Alpha Avatar ready to do battle. Okay, well, we do have much stronger hands than this, which makes me kind of want to mulligan, but having Jace and Miscalc make it to where this is probably a fine keep. I'm going to lead with Forest Aether Spellbomb, though. I don't want to play the Fiery Islet and start losing damage for no reason. I could have left up Discharge in that case instead of the Aether Spellbomb. Alright, what do they do now? Uh-oh. Mox Diamond, okay. Quantum Riddler. Okay, that's not as bad. Could have been worse. Alright, let's draw a Mox. Did not draw a Mox. I think I would have normally played the Jace here, but since they went Mox Diamond to kind of steal the initiative, so to speak, not literally, that's not in this cube. But okay, yep, very glad I kept up Miscalculation now. Anyways, there's a lot where this could go wrong had I not, was the point I was about to make. Where now I feel a little bit better. And then next turn, if we can draw a land between the draw step and Jace Vryn's Prodigy, which if you don't draw a land, I will activate at sorcery speed. In order to get Snapcaster Miscalc up. And hopefully they just kept their hand off the back of turn 2 Oko. Nettle Cyst, okay. That we can destroy the Germ. We can also bounce the Germ, but maybe bouncing the Germ would be better. I'm going to give them the option for the Galvanic Discharge versus the Miscalc in hopes that they choose the Discharge. And I'm only going to do 2 here. And another reason to do this before the Soul Guide Lantern is that I get to keep the energy. So Snapcaster Mage can now Galvanic Discharge a 4-drop. I assume that, okay, I was going to say, I assume that they're going to do the Miscalc, but I'd like to give them the option so that they could make, oh no, okay, please draw a land. Edward, please draw an untap land. No, it's a tap land. Okay, well, we're going to get rid of this 5-drop. Oh, that's so bad for us. But you know what? At least we have the Minskimbu next turn. It could be worse. I don't know what the... Oh, yeah, I don't know if I want to keep a Soul Ring. I guess I will, because it's better than a land. No. I can't defend keeping it. I really can't. I want to, but I guess the final thing in it too is that Jace flips faster now. Yep. Okay. Keeping the Soul Ring means I could cycle the Fiery Islet and the Aether Spellbomb. I didn't say that out loud. I only said it in my head, but I'd rather just keep the land in play and maybe draw into something else, because if the next draw is also a land, it's going to be kind of awkward. Because next turn, even if I'm down a land and down this, I can go Forest, Soul Ring. That's fine. Forest, Soul Ring, and then here's my green and red sources. Or the Thunder Falls is my red, but you know what I mean. Just wanted to finish that thought in case anyone was wondering why I was considering keeping the Soul Ring for so long. Yep. And I don't really want to bounce that. But I think I will. because I want to get in with the Minkskin Boo, and then the turn after, excuse me, the Boo will be bigger than the 4/6. If I don't bounce this, I'm not attacking with the 4/4, and then they can attack and kill the Boo. So I think it is correct to bounce the Quantum Riddler here. So I'm very happy that I decided to discharge the cyst token when I did. Also, saying cyst token is really awkward, which is why I said it again, apparently. Okay. Oh, that's an Oracle, the alpha. Yeah, I don't think there's a reasonable world where I want to flip the, or where I'm sorry, where I want to not play the Minkskin Boo here. I'm just debating if I want to start upticking the Jace or not, but let's play the Minkskin Boo, see if it resolves. Okay, I mean, I'll take that. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 2. This is another hand that we don't have any of our busted draws in. Our opponent is also on the play. I hate that our first 2 matches have had hands that are just good enough to make me not want to mulligan them. I'll keep. I'm not happy about it. I mean, if this was a draft that didn't have like 5 to 6 pseudo or literal pieces of power, then, you know, this would be a fine keep and I wouldn't complain at all. But yeah, I think this hand is just interactive enough that I'm gonna try it. Hopefully they don't have a Mox Diamond start or another similar start. That would definitely be a punish. But without cards like Wheel of Fortune and Time Twister, I don't want to aggressively mulligan. And I think if I mulligan this, it is the definition of aggressive mulligan. This is just a perfectly serviceable hand. Wooded Foothills gets Volcanic Island if I need to use it turn 1, and then turn 2 I get to hold up Counterspell or Fairy, and then turn 3 maybe Narset, but now I can turn 3 Oko. So either way, I'm going to play the Wooded Foothills. If I do not need to get the Volcanic Island to discharge, I will just get the Thundering Falls. Okay, I like Rakdos so far, unless of course that Rakdos is Entomb into Reanimate, but luckily we have a Counterspell. I'm just doubly sure that, yes, that is a green source. I have made dumber plays on this channel. Not interested in Legion Extruder at this time. And we're already not playing around Wasteland, so let's just continue not playing around Wasteland. So now we have our double blue up for Counterspell, or if they have like Knight's Whisper here, I can Fairy Mastermind in response. I am going to cast the Fairy Mastermind anyways. If it eats a removal spell, that's fine. It did not. Okay, well, since we have a threat, they might just be waiting until we go to combat to kill this. Okay, well, I will just continue doing nothing. I mean, we have a threat. They have to do something, or else we're going to win the game. It's Magic 101, so I'm not incentivized to tap out. Oh my gosh. All right, well, I would say it's, you know, only having 15 lands in your deck can cause this, but we only have 15 lands in our deck because, you know, we have a Generous Ent and a Soul Ring and a Mox Emerald and a Mox Ruby and a Lotus Petal. I think when I counted, including the Generous Ent, we have, so 19 sources, Generous Ent was 20, just for those keeping track. So our deck is literally half mana. If I can get to 4 lands, I'll be very happy. I'm still confused as to what our opponent is doing. Okay, still not a land. I'm just going to discard the Uro. I think that's kind of free. I don't know what they could be doing, and my fear is I tap out and then they play something big I can't answer currently, which they're still not doing anything. This leads me to believe that maybe they're playing some type of breach deck maybe, and their lands have just been really awkward. I'm going to speed up the clock. This is kind of aggressive, but we're not even guaranteed to draw a 4th mana source for like the double counter spell. I guess I'm glad I did that. Now do they have something? No. I hate games like this. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what to play. I've already committed to not, leaving the counter spell up. Fury. Fury answers our board, but we can answer it. I'm just going to hope that I draw a land. I'm going to let this resolve. I'm going to Galvanic Discharge it, and I'm going to hope to just draw a land. This plays around a Spell Pierce if they randomly have one. I don't think that they do, because they haven't shown any duels except for this Mana Confluence. But hopefully we draw a land so I can go, yes, okay, awesome. Now I can Jace into Counterspell. And then that'll flip the Jace immediately, assuming that they don't destroy it right here. Which if they do, I'm just going to let them. Okay. Chandra. That is enough. I'm going to counter. Oh, do they have a response? Okay. Galvanic Discharge is fine. If I draw a land, I guess I don't need to draw a land because I can just Uro now. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to just Uro even if I draw a land. Okay. Well, this might mill into something. Yeah, I don't want that. Do I want a Narset or do I want a Uro? I mean, they've shown to be like a Rakdos style deck. I think Uro would be better. I do have a mountain and an island still left in my deck, I believe. And keeping the Soul Ring, okay. That's annoying, but it is what it is. Keeping the Soul Ring makes the Paraguay bigger, so I wanted to keep that there at the last. I'm going to fetch now. Don't think I need the other red source. Okay. That definitely gets the ball rolling. Recall target me. Fantastic. There's still a tropical island in my deck, I believe. Let's fetch. So the most efficient use of mana here is technically 2 3-drops. But I'm just going to play Boomy. Target the land that quote-unquote does something if it gets removed and comes back. And then next turn I'll Minkskin Boo into Oko maybe. Or Narset. They may have like a damnation effect here, which I think is fine because they really only kill one thing because the Hedge Maze comes back. And then I can play the Minkskin Boo. Also, the Paragoyf is just growing the more and more we do this. I would like to wait to Narset until we have an Oracle of the Alpha that's been in play, because a Time Twister is a card I want to hit. Also, I don't want to redraw these fetches, like, if I Uro, so I definitely want to exile them. Oh, okay. They have their own Pyrogoyf. That's fine. I can Oko that into a 3/3. I'll attack with the... Actually, this is lethal. They have to block. Never mind. Yep. And then now the Pyrogoyf is lethal. Yeah, I missed lethal there. I didn't pay attention to their life total. That's on me. I apologize for the sloppy play, but I didn't have to play Oko there. I could have played Mixcamboo, made a 4/4 attack. They take 4, they eat 1, and then I Pyrogoyf them to death. So if I lose this game, it's 100% on me. And I missed that until it was too late. Okay, let's see if it matters. I find it hard at this point that it will, but I've said worse things or better things, however you want to look at it. I've said things that are less or more guaranteed, and the opposite has come true, so giving us some suspense. Keep in mind, it has to... Hornet Queen's not in the cube, but like, it has to be like a Hornet Queen-esque effect in order for it to matter right this second. Okay, that's fine. They blow up 3 lands, and then they're swamp, and then they die. Oh yeah, they can blow up the hedge maze. So, but this tramples, and I have Mixcamboo, so good game. They need more than this. They haven't played a land yet. Oh, they chose not to deal with the hedge maze. We're gonna reanimate Fury. Reanimating Fury. Oh, I guess they can't reanimate Fury. They would die. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, we're gonna hit decline. Resolving Mixcamboo online is a lot more annoying than resolving them in paper. I will say that. Sure. I don't want the 6. Decline. All right, good game. Like, I don't know what they... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just hoping I would mess up or something. I know that by killing the Titan, they could have wrathed my board and made the Pyrogoyf, like, not castable, so I probably should have played it first. But I still had the Mixcamboo activation. I don't know. With one card, I don't think there was a way to mess me up there with all those different avenues. So either way, I'll see you next round. All right, welcome to round 3. And hey, we have Ancestral Recall in our opener and a Counterspell. So that seems great. Our opponent is on the play, unfortunately, but we're going to keep this. This starts off green, which is nice. I'm sorry, I said the opposite. This starts off blue, which is nice. I don't want to recall here anyways, so the only thing that would make me want to do that, I suppose... I mean, I guess I don't need to play around the Wasteland. I am going to play the Verge, though, because it's already blue, if they do have, like, an Inquisition of Kozilek. And I have Generous Int for basic Forest if I need to, so I'd rather have Volcanic Island in my hand since I can get basic Forest untapped with the Generous Int. Or if this was like Oliphant, then I might do the opposite play for the same reason. And again, this is all just assuming that they even have the Wasteland anyways. But I find that if it's free or seemingly free to do, then you probably just should. Okay, Talisman is fine. Is this into Inquisition? That'd be really annoying. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we're gonna target me. That's so funny that they had it, especially after going Tundra Forest. Oh man. I absolutely love it when I call out stuff like that from like a mile away. Okay, anyways, they did get rid of the counterspell, which is honestly probably a good thing. I have two ways to play this. I'm going to lead off with the Volk either way. I can either lead off with the Jace or the Fairy. I'm just going to play the Jace here. If they have a draw engine specifically, like a non-stock up way to draw cards, then I guess I get punished, but... And I'd want a sorcery speed anyway, so I don't have to discard the hand size. Well, here I think it's okay to just play the Thundering Falls. How many cards? 3? No, 2. So maybe I'm just gonna Thundering Falls. Okay, yeah, that's a great card to put in the bin. So that's 3. Generous Int is 4, and so I can flip the Jace whenever I want. Now. And I can recall. I don't want to recall now, though. I'm going to leave the Fairy Mastermind, and if they don't do anything, then I'll flip Jace end of turn. Teferi, eh? Sure. Teferi's fine. Teferi is going to be kind of a problem, potentially. Oh, no. I wanted Teferi. Oops. Oops. I just missed a draw. I missed a draw. Oh, well. Yeah, that was so bad on me. This doesn't get back anything right now, and I think I value the lands. Actually, I guess I'll get rid of this. That's a way to basically guarantee the Jace if I had to discard anything else, but that's fine. Let's play the Trop. Let's flip the Jace. Get rid of this. Start upticking, and then I'll attack into the Teferi. I really hate that I missed that draw step, or that draw trigger. If they have a counterspell, it's kind of annoying. I think I'm currently winning on the board. So I want to keep up Snapcaster Mage, because if they answer my Pyrogoyf here, it's going to be really awkward. And remember, if they activate Teferi, I draw 2. So like the Teferi by itself right now is not advantaging them any more than I am, now that I actually have the Fairy Mastermind in play. And it would have been even less so had I not been dumb and clicked through it. Third path A. I think that's enough advantage that I do want to snap Counterspell. Okay, that kind of resolved pretty fast. Maybe they don't have an answer. Okay, then now that Teferi dies on board without me Pyrogoyfing. Oh, Time Walk. Gross. Okay. Yeah, that was annoying for sure. But at least they don't have a board. I think I'd rather them Time Walk again than start having a board. Because even if I counted the Time Walk, they'd still have a couple dorks. Okay, now we have a Minskimbu. Let's see what they do. Okay, another land. Opponent is just full on 4 color, or 5 colors, I mean. A Braid, okay. That's good news. Your last card needs to be like a Spell Pierce to stop our Minskimbu. I could also just Paragoyf because I'd rather the Paragoyf die. Does Minx get, or does Paragoyf resolve? Okay. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, if their last card was a counterspell, or a spell pierce or something, I'd rather, obviously if it was a spell pierce, I'd rather the Paragoyf not resolve. I don't want to recall, I don't think. So let's just plus again, submit 0, and say go. I still have a basic forest in my deck, but I don't want to cycle regardless. Okay, cycling Xander's Lounge-Lair was clearly their draw, because they would have done that end of turn otherwise. Okay, into another land. Okay, it is not looking good for our opponent. Let's go to combat. I guess I'd rather Boomy. Again, choose the one that matters. I didn't play that last turn super optimally if I wanted to Boomy, because I could have done it in such a way that I could have attacked. Oh, okay. Yep. Let's hope that for a land on top. Twice, I guess. They're at 11. That's a lot. Okay, Duress. That's going to deal with a Planeswalker. Probably the Minxcamboo, I would imagine. The Oko. Okay. I mean, I could see Oko because it turns off Citadel, but my board turns off Citadel. Oh. Yeah, okay, so they saw the Gristlebrand on top when they Oko'd. That makes sense. I think this still kills them, right? Because I just target them. I could be wrong, of course. Oh, I also just have the Minxcamboo I could throw. Yeah, let's do that. Sure. And they're dead. All right, 3-0. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 4. All right, I finally have a hand I don't mind mulliganing to find a more busted hand. I don't think this hand is defensible in any way, shape, or form. And our deck is way too busted to keep a hand that doesn't do anything until turn 3. So the happiest time I've ever clicked this mulligan button. And that's unfortunate, but I'm going to keep this. I don't want to go to 5 without having some type of time twister effect in my draft or in my deck. So, and this hand functions at least. It is upsetting that our opponent gets to play first. I could see an argument for putting back the Minxcamboo, but I'm actually going to put back the Snapcaster Mage, I think. It's either Snapcaster Mage or Fairy. I don't think it's correct to put back third land, and I'd rather have Miscalc and Fairy than having 2 Miscalcs is going to be my argument. So there we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's hope our opponent doesn't have a turn 2 Skull Clamp. That would be brutal. Okay. Not a Skull Clamp yet. Okay. And we can Fairy Mastermind to kill the Ajani. As like an ambush Viper. Hey, look, our Mox Emerald right on time. I was thinking if I want to play this for like Volk, or not Volk, sorry, for Tropical Island, but I think I'd rather just play Basic Island. Excuse me. I don't think there's a reason to play the Emerald just yet. I'd rather it not get abraded or something, especially since they have Abrade mana up currently. See, that Cathar Commando, that could have killed our thing. Here I'm just gonna save the 3 damage by miscalcing. They could, you know, go fourth mana source into like Comet, and if they do that, then good for them. I was just joking. Please don't do that. Just as good, I guess. I guess it's not just as good, but it's the same outcome. Honestly, I'm attacking and then killing my cat here. I think plussing here is crazy. I think you're supposed to just attack me for 5. You can't cast that. They might be new to this interaction, but I think attacking me for 5 and then Chandra down ticking the cat and then flipping a Johnny and then recatting, I think is the optimum way to play this. With that said, here, I'm just gonna Legion. And kill the Ajani now. And then now I can eat the Mox Emerald. Now I can eat the Mox Emerald and eat one of their creatures. Please just do a land and hit me for 2. Okay. Sure. Another land, that's good for me. You're gonna get tropical here. Already not playing around Wasteland, might as well get the more optimum land. Activate here. Is there last card removal? Block here. Okay. Depending on what they do. Oh, yeah, please kill that. Oh, wow. Why would you not kill the creature there and save? That makes no sense. Oh, it's sorcery. Okay, I thought this was like a braid. That makes more sense. I still think you're supposed to kill the 3/3. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. That's actually kind of nice. Okay, I can get the forest now. Oh, no, I can get the hedge maze. Is probably better. I'll get the hedge maze. This is a rare instance where I do wish that this was Pyrite Spellbomb. I don't need another land. I'm going to hope that they just brick. His ult's at 7. But now what I can do is that when they attack in response to this trigger, I can bounce it so that they won't draw the card. Like, they can't use the card. Thraben is a very good draw here. It could be worse, but it replacing itself is very strong when I'm clearly struggling here. Okay, if you were going to do that, you should have started with it. Sure. Like, I kind of wish they just had like a 5-drop or something that they couldn't cast now. Okay. Let's see how they attack. And if they sack in response, they only get the 1 card, and it doesn't go back to their hand, obviously. So, sure. And now the other card's just lost forever. And I would really like a Pyrogoyf here. I don't know how big the Pyrogoyf is currently, but I think it would help out a lot. I doubt it's a 7/8. Well. I'm not currently dead on board, right? This doesn't... What does Endure do? Put a counter or create. So 2, 3, 4. Is it attacking? No. I'm not currently dead on board. I'm just going to go for the Chandra. I don't think I'm winning this game if I let Chandra do its thing. Like ultimate, obviously. And I don't think I'm winning this game, even without the Chandra, if I'm just saying go. So hopefully they don't have like Lightning Bolt here, because then obviously I'm dead. But if they do, then they do. A Johnny. Okay. I mean, a Johnny's giving me a chance, honestly. Right? Because this doesn't... Oh, 4 damage to target tapped creature? Okay. Sure, so it's going to kill the Boo. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, they drew another land. That's good for me. Enduring Innocence. Okay. I assume they're attacking for 4. Yep, okay. Lotus Petal. Yep. Barring some shenanigans, this game is lost, unfortunately, but that's okay. We have plenty of other games to play. And our opponent kind of came off the fence swinging, or however you want to say that. Came out of the gate swinging. Yep. What's that do? Oh, Parallax Wave. That's a great one. That is going to end the game, I think. Yep. They need to cast 2 more spells. No. Are they going to put it on? Oh, they just make a token. Okay. I assume that they're not going to let me block. Oh, well, if they're going to let me block. I mean, Lightning Bolt kills me regardless. Okay. Does this kill me regardless? Yes, it does. Because 4... Oh, 5? Am I missing? This takes me to 1? No, it is 6. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Let's see what I would have drawn. Oh, yeah, because the +1/+1 thing. There we go. Okay. Sure, that doesn't stop anything, but I just want to see what card I would have drawn. Let me do it. Yes, I get it. You win the game. Awesome. All right, I would have drawn nothing. All right, good games. I'll see you next. All right, welcome to round 5. Let's see if we can bounce back from that Boros beatdown. Okay, we are on the play, and we have a Jace into Oko, or even Oracle. I think this is fine to keep. I would like to, have a Mox start, but it is what it is. We have plenty more games of Magic to play. Oh. No, I'm gonna just play the Jace. I like Counterspell here, but I don't want to just sit back on a Counterspell and then go back and forth for 10 turns and not do anything. So I'm going to give them 1 turn to either answer Jace or play to the board, and then I'll start leaving up Counterspell probably. If they just kill the Jace, I'll just play the Oracle of the Alpha, I think. That's going to kill the Counterspell, sure. And they put an Atraxa in the yard. That's horrible for us. Well, I guess I'm going to play out the Oko then. Yep, reanimate the Atraxa. Yep. Seer doesn't kill the Oko. Alright, yeah, none of this kills the Oko. If they had more mana, they could Chain Lightning Seer, but they have to have an untapped red source, and they already played their land. So, I guess a Mox, like a Mox Ruby effect would do it. Or they can have a Time Walk. Okay. Yep. I don't play scared, and I play the Jace, and I'm not gonna say this is worst possible, but definitely among the worst possible that could have happened to us not leaving up Counterspell. Of course, the collective brutality actually would have gotten because they could have chose drain in the duress mode. There's a 5/6. So actually, now that I think about it, the Jace would have still been a better place. Turn scolding, eh? Okay. Well, this is a beatdown for sure. Yep. Sure. Or at least our days is on now. So if we can draw an answer, no. Yep. I'm just gonna good games this and get out of here. Let's try the next round. Welcome to round 6. We have an Ancestral Recall start, ladies and gentlemen. And I go first. Keep. I think I'm just gonna lead Verdant Catacombs. I will play out the Lotus Petal. I don't care if they kill it, and if they don't, then I can play Oko. I could also see waiting to recall me until after the Oracle, but I'm just going to do it now. Tropical. I have the Lotus Petal to play around Mana Tithe. Okay, they don't have Mana Tithe. That instantly resolved. I'm just going to say go again. I'm not under a lot of pressure. And since I have the miscalc, I would like to have interaction up if need be. A Johnny. Yeah, I'll miscalc a Johnny. I just want to get my stuff down anyways. I need to get red mana here, I suppose. I guess I have this, but yeah, I'll just get the red. Huh. Counterspell, eh? I guess if that's the case, I'll leave it up. Play Aether and say go again. It's just for the same reasons before. Like, I feel like we're doing well enough. If I can keep them off problematic permanents, then it's fine. And next turn I can still play the Oko. FOMO does not qualify as one of the problematic things. Not worth giving up my petal for. And I'm probably just going to bounce this. And then next turn I can play Boomy if I want to. I'm doing this as a tempo play. I know it's... Oh, that's... Yeah, let's do that. Take action. I almost hit decline. That would be terrible. Uptick this. Smash for 4. So, since we drew Minxkambu, it was definitely great that we bounced the FOMO, because they can't attack Boomy, which is what I probably would have done. But since we have the Minxkambu, I am glad that I bounced that, because now they can't attack back without a haste generator. Okay, Skyclave is a punish there, but that's fine. We still have a 4/4, and they're spending their time reacting to us, so... And I can still cast Boomy. Sure. Yeah, I think I just want to play Boomy here. They did do a decent job interacting with us. The Skyclave was very, very good for them to have. Just being able to outright exile the Minxkambu. Now, a play that we do have in future... Okay, I'm glad they led with the fear. The play that we have in the future, though, is Galvanic this in response to blocks, or if they attack us, whatever, make a 4/4 block. And remember, if Boomy deals damage, you untap all lands you control. Let's just kill this now. And honestly, I'm just going to kill this now too. Yep, I was going to say it looks like good games to me, but I'll let them be decider of that. I'll see you next round. Welcome to round 7. This is the kind of start I am talking about. And we're on the play? Yes, please. All right. Don't duress us. That is great. Just going to get down, I think the hedge, no. I think I want to recall first. Okay, yeah, because now I can have miscalc up. Play the spell bomb. Say go. This is the kind of starts I want to have every round. Also, if we win this round, we are in the profit bracket, which is great. I'm just going to miscalc this. I don't want to mess around. And I'm just going to recall myself again. Making sure I did have enough to sack to actually be able to flash back the recall there. Well, there's our actual mocks, and there's these. And I'm just going to leave up the island. Just drawing casually 3 Moxen. Granted, our opponent has seen us play 4 pieces of power now that are not from the Oracle, the Alpha. Now they can have a Soul Ring. Yep. Submit 0. Let's see what this does. Get rid of that. Play. Honestly, I just want to Legion Extruder them. I can start making 3/3s. There we go. All right, they have 6 mana. VV is a good start. I guess I don't want to get rid of the other. Let's get rid of the jet. All right, well, this is the recall off of Oracle, or at least one of them. This is a crazy game. I could draw 3 more cards. That's probably worth it. Let's see how they want to block. Okay, they choose not to. Paraguay for lethal. Good game. See you next round. We are in the profit. Welcome to round 8. If we win this one, we get our full money's worth and get to play all 9 rounds. Yeah, we're going to keep this. Our opponent is on the play, but that's fine. Unless they have a Thoughtseize, I guess, or a Duress to take our Soul Ring. Then this hand gets a... Excuse me, this hand gets a lot worse if they Duress us. Yep. Bye-bye Soul Ring. Come on, top deck Mox. It's clearly the Soul Ring. Come on, there you go. We're just going to play the Hedge Maze now. It gives them full information, but that's fine. We're not playing the Narset. Yep, that's a prime example of play draw mattering. Okay, at least we get to kill that with the Legion Extruder. And it looks like we're not drawing a land off. Yeah, they took a land out, which is fine. Notable, I can't get Tropical now. But let's just Legion Extruder this away. If our opponent continues to play fair cards, I think we're advantaged. I mean, this is already a 4-5. And I'll happily get rid of Verdant and Mountain for this Thirst. Okay. Now would be a great time to draw Mox, or 6, honestly. I'm going to get the island just so that Verdant can still get the forest, if I want it to. And now I can Soul Ring again. And this also prevents them from attacking me without a removal spell. And if they do have a removal spell, hopefully it's just a path. Okay, another land. That could be bad for me. They're hesitating. They may not have a removal spell. Okay. Well, if the last card in hand is Bolt, it's going to be really awkward. But if they don't attack, okay, the last card in hand is not Bolt. How do I want to play this? I do think I still want to play a land. And Oko. I could also just Pyrogoyf and attack. Ah, man. I'm going to hit the Nethergoyf against my better judgment so I can actually attack with the 6. Okay, I do get a land back. That's great. And now I can play that land. And next turn I can Boomy by discarding the Verdant Catacomb. Surely they're not blocking. If their last card in hand is Bolt, that's fine, but I think they would have attacked me. Alright, then we probably don't need to draw any more lands. Definitely don't need to draw Mox Ruby. I mean, I could technically Mox Ruby right now if it matters, but it doesn't, so... If I had one more, like if this was an untapped land somehow that surveilled that Mox, then I could have gone Verdant Catacombs and then left up Legion Extruder. Swords on the 6. Got it. Deal. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. Yep, that makes a lot more sense now. But now I get to Oko, Elk, something. Okay. This still has Forest, I believe, and only Forest. Oh yeah, the Ketria Triumph. Food, Jace, and then I can Legion Extruder into a 3/3. And then depending on what they do with the Oko, I can steal either their Enduring Innocence or their Ocelot Pride. Like whichever one I don't block, basically. Okay, I'm glad that they drew a land. That makes me very happy. Having a Jace also makes me very happy. Yeah, them having double removal there was kind of annoying. Okay, I doubt there's an attack here without their last card being significant. I think I want to eat the Soul Ring so I can swap food with whatever I steal. I mean, outside of Time Spiral, which I haven't seen all draft, I think everything else in my deck is less besides Generous Int. And if I draw Generous Int, it's getting discarded to Thirst for Identity, let's be honest. Okay, their last card was Bauble. So they just threw away Enduring Innocence for 2 life. Okay. We're going to replay this Goyf, it looks like. Hopefully it's smaller by the time it comes down. This only affects their yard, or it's only affected by their yard. It would be a more accurate way to say that. And what's funny is that I could steal it, and then it'll come to my side and be larger, but I think I want to take the Ocelot Pride, probably. Okay, that's a 1/2. Yeah, it being a 1/2, I definitely want to take the Ocelot Pride here. I guess we want to flip Jace first. Don't need the pedal. What do I have in here? Nothing great. Yeah, just literally just a removal spell. I could give them the Legion. Is that crazy? Let's see what this draws me first. Because I'm thinking if I give them the Legion, oh. No, I think I'd rather discard Triumph Days, but I don't know. I'll just discard the Fairy Mastermind, sure. I haven't seen a lot of artifacts outside of just the Bauble, I think. Nah, I'll take the Ocelot, give them the food. I won't be cute. And then this way I can hold up Days and counterspell. I am going to go ahead and play this tap land. And I am going to go ahead and shrink this. So that even if they grow it, it still stays small. And then if they kill the Golem, depending on what they do with it, I can either sack it in response, because Legion is worded that way for some reason. Booster Tutor is fine. I'll just counter whatever they get off the tutor in this instance. I really hope they get something that they can tap out for, and I get to just get them with Days. Unfortunately, I didn't tap either of my Surveil lands, which is unfortunate. I will probably still, it depends. Obviously, I might just have to pick up Ketria Triumph and then I'll cycle it. Oh. Virtue of Persistence. Okay. I kind of wish they just hit the construct so I could counter it effectively. Yoko's dead on board either way now. And if they ever virtue, like, I could still daze, so, like, that's fine. I don't care about that. Sure. Well, losing my Oko here is not the greatest. Let's see if they attack the Oko. They should. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I will gladly eat the Nethergoyf here. All right, let's draw a recall. Ancestral recall off the top, one time. I'm not crazy, right? They're tapped out. Yeah. I'd rather just keep in case I draw exactly time spiral. Okay, yes, I hit the recall like I wanted. That's great. As I say, in case I hit time spiral exactly. I have 2 islands and a mountain. Are they all accounted for? That mountain's accounted for. Island is not. Because I only see 1 island. Okay, yep, there it is. And yep, confirming time spiral is in the deck still. I have a lot of hits left. And here, I'm just going to flashback, recall, targeting myself, yours truly. I don't want to tap out of Counterspell Magic in case they top deck a land into Virtue. It would be really bad for me. Let's see here. I think I like playing Spell Bomb over Oracle. I guess they're only playing probably 1 spell next turn unless they sack their land, which means they're not playing Virtue. So playing Oracle is probably fine. I want to disincentivize them attacking the Jace if I can. Hopefully they don't draw something that trigger. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. I will just miscalc that. And then now I just have free blocks. Yep. If they attack all out on the Jace, it's not the end of the world, honestly. And I have Uro, so like cards in my yard are not the worst thing in the world. I will gladly throw these away to save my Jace. All right, let's see if we can draw a second recall. Nope, because the first one's already exiled, unfortunately, now. Let's target here. Let's play the land. Let's play the Spell Bomb. And now Spell Bomb can sack to be a 3/3 again. I don't want to tap. Yeah, I don't want to tap the Generous Int yet. That's a fine draw. That's going to draw them a card, I think. No? Is it power? It must be power. I don't want to read. It must be power. I thought it was power or toughness. Let's see what they do. Sure. That's fine. At this point, I think I'm just going to flash back the draw 3 and discard Generous Hint. Thirst for whatever. Thirst for identity. And then I might even sack the Aether Spellbomb to draw, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what I draw. Hopefully not just a bunch of Moxen. If I do draw like 3 Moxen like I did before, I might just discard the 2 of the Moxen. Yep. I think you should have done that before end of step, but I'm not going to complain. Decline, I'll just discard the Moxen like I said. Draw a card. Okay, another Mox. That one's fine because I can make a 3/3 out of that. Oh, Time Walk. Cast the Generous Ent. And I can Time Walk twice. Plus on this one, I guess. I don't know. If they have Reprieve, I can still Time Walk. I'll sack the Emerald because the food I might actually need. Sure. They can trade with a 1/1. Makes Gimbu even. I think it's turning. Keep in mind, we have a Time Walk coming. Sure. Now's a not terrible time to block the 3/3. I'll just sack it in response and make another one, but... Take the Time Walk. All right, yep, good game. I'll see you in the last round. Welcome to the 9th and final round of what is essentially a peak Powered Cube. Speaking of peaked Powered Cube, I'm going to mulligan this. I do not like this hand. Not a huge fan of this hand either, but I think it is better. We're going to keep, and I'm probably going to put back the Fairy Mastermind. It's that or Uro. Well, not having a Moxen start is kind of disappointing. But at least, you know, we got to play all 9 rounds of Magic, which is great. Speaking of great, I'm glad we got to get an island here. I'm just going to play Ketchia Triumph. Hopefully next turn they just play like a Fanatic of Ronus or something. Double. Please don't channel me. Okay, whew, I got scared. All right, we're just going to lead off with another island. Please don't have a fetch land here. A Galvanic Discharge would have been absolutely insane to draw. Okay, just another forest. That's fine. Yep. Yep, we'll take 3. What do you have? Hopefully something I can just counterspell and get out of the way. Yeah, I don't want them tutoring. That seems bad for us. Also, it's just the most efficient. So here I'm going to play Forest. And then I'm going to play Uro. And then I'm going to play the Fiery Islet off the Uro. Wow, I wish I had the Thirst for Identity before. I would have just played that and discarded the Uro naturally. Yep, now we're going to say go. I still have Trop and Hedge Maze to get off Generous Ent. But the Scythecat Cub, especially if it gets a fetch land, is going to be a problem. I wonder if they have Tifa in their deck. Okay, just another basic forest. This is by no means shade. Please do not take it that way. But so far, they've just shown us like basic green beats. And if I lose this round against basic green beats after everything we've done this draft, I will be disappointed with myself. Sure. Sure. I think it's better to play the Ancestral Recall because there's a world where I draw like Soul Ring Mox or Soul Ring Land or Double Mox or, you know, whatever. Mox Land, and I can just hard cast this Generous Int. Badger Mole Cub, eh? Sure. I'll just recall in response. Okay. Did not draw what I wanted to. We're still not close to casting Uro, which is unfortunate. Yep. Put a forest into play. Yeah, we really need to draw some action here. Galvanic Discharge, that's something. Activate. I think I want the Trop. I can go Galvanic Discharge, Snap Galvanic Discharge, which is 4 mana. So I guess I'll get the Hedge Maze. Ruby, okay. I don't need the Ruby now. So let's Galvanic Discharge. Let's hit the Scythecat Cub. And then probably the Badger Mole after that. Hopefully they don't have crop rotation. I don't know if that's okay. It looks like they don't. I just don't want them, because this taps for more. I don't want them to have more mana than they would have otherwise. I could also recall myself. That might be better, but I'm just gonna hinder their mana. I think I have enough answers at this point, thanks to the Uro, that if I can hinder their mana, I'll be fine. And I will just block with the Snapcaster Mage. It's done its job. I want 6 cards in hand for or in graveyard for Uro. And I don't have to get rid of the recall either. Them not having any fetch lands has been really nice. Okay, there's the Nissa. Yep, that was definitely an example of a card I didn't want them to have. Yep. Yeah, I will block. Again, I want to cast Uro. And the Hedge Maze, or the... because this still gets Tropical Island. Although, I guess I don't need it to get Tropical Island anymore. If I'm willing to get rid of the recall. Which I probably am at this point. Wow, Days would have been great last turn. Alright, let's hope they either tap out or don't have another bomb. Drawing Counterspell there would have been nuts, but we already had our Counterspell. That makes sense. Okay, Tifa Lockhart. Don't have Scape Shift. I don't think Scape Shift's in the cube, but... Yep. 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 Luckily, I can still block. I'm going to take a lot of damage, but I can still block. Yep. Alright. I will eat the Chocobo. No. Here I think... I don't know. I'm just going to go to my turn. I think that they'll chump with the 1/1 if I attack NYSE. I don't know if they will or not. I want them to. Are they going to let me attack? You don't have anything currently. They have exactly 6 force, which is kind of annoying for this thundering whatever. Oh, that's not a bad draw. Just chumping? Okay, that's probably best for me. I think I would have just traded it with the other one. Yep. That's going to re-enter and re-trigger. Yep, okay, that makes sense. Yep. I can make a 5/7. Or I can play 6 and Oracle the Alpha, which is 2 blockers. I think I'd rather do that. I can play Aether Spellbomb and then hold up Thirst, discarding 6. Or Aether Spellbomb bounce on something if I need it to. So I think I like that line a little bit better. Especially now that Time Walk is in my deck somewhere. And maybe I'll draw Time Spiral for once. Time Spiral would be an incredible draw. Especially now that we've gotten rid of some of this chaff. I mean, I wouldn't mind re-getting the recall or the Snapcaster, assuming there's a Time Walk in the yard, but okay. I guess if I'm not... I already played my mountain, though, so yeah. Alright, let's end turn. I hope that I'm not threatened lethal so I can thirst. I'd really like to thirst. And if they don't attack again, I will be kind of happy. I'm okay with throwing Oracle the Alpha to the 6/3 or 6/4. Yeah, 6/4, whatever it is. Sure. Sure. Okay, I missed that it says or attacks. That's on me. I'm definitely blocking it. Yep, I'm glad that they tapped / didn't attack with their landfall matters creatures. A Time Walk would be an absolutely great draw here. Recall into Time Walk would be a great draw. Yep. Okay. All right, let's cast Thirst. Discarding 6. Almost no matter what. Because even if it's like 3 Moxen, I'd still rather have the mana to hopefully top deck a Time Spiral. Okay. It's not the greatest, but at least that kills a Tifa. If they have 3 indestructible 3/3s for the rest of the game, what does that look like for me? Not fantastic? Probably, I would imagine. Because at least this I can play and then it still blocks and gains life. Let's go to combat and see how they block. I know I can kill the Tifa here, but I really want to draw something that's not terrible, like a Time Spiral. I don't know what they're waiting on. I assume that they're just unaware that something that they have is causing priority. All right, this, seeing our top card, is really nice. That's really bad. All right, please just double block it. Come on, you know you want to double block this Uro. Double block the Uro. No, double block. Yes, they're going to double block. Great. Deal. Oh, they're going to triple block. I mean, I could bounce the Tifa, so I don't know if that's why they kept it or not. I think I'd rather just kill the Tifa, maybe. And if they want to make their lands indestructible and put them all into play, like, that's fine. Because then they don't have the Nissa anymore. Am I supposed to just re-Uro here? I think I'm supposed to re-Uro here. That's a time walk. That was a savage play, or savage draw. There's a time spiral even. Get rid of the days. That might have been the difference. Okay. Flashback the time walk. I also love learning. Okay. I don't know if this finds anything. I don't want to do the math right now. I think it finds one island. Yeah, there we go. And now I can exile all these lands that I don't want to redraw. Don't want to redraw the 6 for the same reason, or this days. We're 1 mana short, unfortunately. Never mind. I was going to say we're 1 mana short of Minskimbu, but we drew a Mox. And now we just attack them. I think we did it, depending on their last card in hand. Oh yeah, this can't attack them. So I guess I'll attack Nissa. Remember, we get to time spiral after all this too. If they block here, I was going to say, yeah, that seems abysmal, but I don't know how much it's going to matter. I don't really want to time spiral them if I can help it, right? Just kill the Nissa. Now we can generous int. All right. I mean, I know Time Spiral probably hits there, but we already have the Time Walk exiled again, so... Yep, good game. All right, we got the 7 wins, guys. That was great. I'll see you in the outro. All right, we did it. That was exciting. I was getting worried there for a little bit when we just weren't opening any of our cool busted stuff, but we got to do some fun things. That Mox Ruby, Soul Ring, Ancestral Recall, Jace line was pretty cool. And man, in that last game, yeah, that was incredible. The time walk there off the Sackland, that was chef's kiss for sure. I wasn't confident I was going to win that one until that time walk came off the top. But yeah, confirmed. Oracle the Alpha is a fantastic card. Absolutely fun. There are downsides to it. It's not necessarily a good thing. We never got to see a Black Lotus. That's sad. But it's not necessarily a good thing to put these 6 cards in your deck starting with, turn 4. Just because at the end of the day, they're basically like top decking lands, sometimes worse, because like my 6 can't discard them to do other things. But if you can get some combination of these 3 cards, it is definitely crazy good. I do have this card in my personal cube on Arena that we import over from Draftmancer. But yeah, that was my first time getting to play with it. We got to 7 wins. That was great. Legion Extruder definitely performed very well, but I guess when you're sacking a bunch of Moxen or Soul Rings and stuff, I mean, that makes sense. Uro, I think, overperformed. Minx and Boo definitely overperformed. Boomy did all right. Time Spiral, we saw it exactly one time, and I don't think it was correct to play it. I don't think in that situation, giving our opponent, I think it was draw 5 or draw 6, even though it probably favored us, the last thing I wanted to do was to give them like a Woodfall Primus effect or something. I don't know what's in their deck, but just some big thing. I was not okay with letting them have that for sure. So, yeah, I don't have much else really to talk about this other than I hope you had fun, and this was an absolutely crazy deck to play. And unfortunately, I hate to admit this, but this was probably the peak draft experience for me. I don't think we're ever going to see this many pieces in one deck in a traditional draft, probably ever again. But I'm glad you got to watch it for the ride. I'm definitely glad we got to record it. Pick 5 Ancestral Recall. That's crazy. Yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Sorry it won't be as good as this one. Welcome to the next episode of What's on Edward's Wall. The next card I want to talk about, like I said, is this Judge Foil Vendilion Click. This was a card that Joe Brennan signed for me. I met Joe originally in 2019, shortly after they won the 2019 Eternal Weekend. Where he's now famous for attacking for lethal with a elked Black Lotus, an alpha Black Lotus at that. That was pretty cool getting to watch that. At that point in time, I was merely an acquaintance. I don't even know if Joe remembers me from that tournament. I just kind of introduced myself to him. Just because I heard so much about him moving forward, and like a lot of people on my wall, I want to be good at Magic. So about this Vendilion Click specifically, so at the second, I believe it was the second land run, people are signing cards for me and vice versa, and somehow or another, Joe hears about it or comes up to me. How I don't remember exactly how it went down, but Nick Dijon was also there, and Joe was contemplating like, oh, what should I sign for your wall? And he was talking about how like, oh, I'm either cards that they're known for or favorite cards. I mean, honestly, he absolutely destroyed me with the lightning bolt in that top 4 in the legacy at the very, very first land run. So lots of cards to choose from over his career. Maybe not an Alpha Lotus. Maybe he shouldn't sign me an Alpha Lotus, but an Oko or an Elk token, even though those don't technically exist, I guess, at least not in the Oko capacity. Anyways, so Nick DeJean pipes up and talks about Vendilion Click, and Joe's like, oh yeah, Vendilion Click would be a good one. I didn't know Joe back when Vendilion Click was really, really good. But apparently, he did really well with it. And Nick DeJean just happened to have this exact Judge Foil Vendilion Click. So Joe's like, hey, let me have that. We'll work out whatever. I don't know what it was. But yeah, so Nick gives it to him, and then Joe signs it for me and gives it to me. And it's been on my office wall ever since. And I really appreciate that I get to look at this very beautiful card. And also, this used to be a cube card, not obviously this exact one, but a Judge Foil Vendilion Click used to be in my cube for the longest time. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's worth it anymore. But yeah, this is a very special card to me, and I'm super glad I was able to pick it up, and I get to look at it now every day. So fast forward from that, we have COVID, as you know, shortly after that. And I just recently gotten into the format. That was my first really big vintage tournament. There was one tournament before that, SCG Con, that had a vintage tournament that I'll eventually talk about when I get to that card. I have a few cards from that tournament actually that's relevant, but I'll stick with Joe's story for now. But anyways, so COVID happened. I had just gotten into the format really hard, and I had a really good turnout at the 2019 EW. I started out 6-0. And it was a 9-round tournament, so if I would have won round 7, I could have double drawn, and then if I would have won the following round, I could have just drawn in and still didn't. But good job to my buddy Jody Keith, and obviously Joe Brennan for top 8ing and Joe for taking it down. But I say all that to say that's what kind of led to the land run. There wasn't paper tournaments going on, and I wanted to play more Magic. So something that our locals did was we put on an Oklahoma Eternal Weekend, basically. And I didn't expect much. We capped it at 40 players for spacing issues and whatnot. The whole safety thing. And little did I know there'd be people from Tennessee showing up, Pennsylvania showing up, Minnesota showing up, just all over. And that was really Indiana, which is where I live now. But yeah, it was crazy. And one of the people that showed up was Joe Brennan, and he ended up knocking me out of top 4 in the legacy portion of that, which was for a Mox Emerald. So that was fun. Air quotes. But I remember he kept the most savage hand. I was on Infect, and my only loss going up to that was against my friend Rob Hayes. In round 1, he was playing Hogak. And after that, I just kind of ran the tables until I met up against Joe. But Joe kept a single. He was on the Is It Delver deck that was really popular at the time. And he kept a single Volcanic Island hand. And unfortunately, just that single Volcanic Island was able to stop me from winning the game. And he went on to the finals. I believe he lost in the finals, but nonetheless, that was really cool that Joe decided to show up to my tournament. I remember this was a couple land run tournaments in now, and we went out to one of my favorite, I say our, my family, some of my friends, etc. Favorite Japanese steakhouses that they cook the food in front of you and everything. And we show up after the tournament, and my parents just happened to be there. Didn't coordinate, didn't anything. They were already there, sat down at a different table. and my uncle was also there with them, and I guess they were just having dinner with my uncle. I don't know. But if you don't know anything about Japanese steakhouses, they're not the cheapest. I think my parents' bill was like $380 or $360 or something like that. And why would I randomly know that? Well, that's because my dad is a prankster, and he thought it would be funny if you told the waitress to send their bill to me. So the waitress comes up to me at the table, and she tells me like, hey, the gentleman over there said that you were covering their bill, and she starts laughing it off or whatever. And before I could respond, which for the record was absolutely not, I don't know if they probably told her that I was their son, but I don't know that context, so I can only assume. But anyways, before I could even like, haha, hee hee, you're so funny, yeah, have fun with that, Joe just said, hey, I'll take it. And he put his card on it and, sent it off or whatever. Well, I guess my parents didn't know that. So, it goes on. It's like a whole deal. It's not, I wouldn't call it like a show per se, but it definitely goes on for a bit. And so like maybe 15, 20 minutes later at most, my mom comes up and she was like, who paid for that? Whatever. And at first, Joe didn't say anything, but the whole table kind of like pointed at him, like 12 of us or something. And, of course my mom thanks him and everything else. And that was the start of, my parents and Joe's friendship going from there. Not many random strangers will just pay for almost $400 dinner. And I would like to take a second to note that other people did give Joe some cash too to help to contribute to that too. So it wasn't just Joe, but Joe was definitely the one that initiated. But I don't want the others to think that, I either forgot or ignored it or whatever. I greatly appreciate you guys pitching in too. That meant a lot to me. And it's one of the reasons why I love this community so much. But yeah, and then just through the years, Joe's and my friendship flourished. I really enjoy the conversations I have with Joe. I always feel like I'm a toddler when I talk to him when it comes to Magic because, he's just playing on a completely different level than I am. But nonetheless, I greatly respect Joe's opinion of the game, and I really cannot overemphasize how awesome Joe is, and I really appreciate you not just being my friend, but being a brother. And I love you, buddy. And I hope this finds you well, and I hope everyone else enjoys the video and enjoys this portion. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.